Hello everybody, my name is Brooklyn, otherwise known as the Dramatic Otaku, and welcome to my Haikyuu movie review. I watched the Haikyuu movie on June 1st, gay month, as it should be, and today we're going to be reviewing the series. Beforehand, I want to brag. I don't think you can see, but I am wearing the Uniqlo Kura and Kenma shirt. I also did buy Karasuno shirt. Just because I missed out when I bought I missed out on the Attack on Titan shirts. I bought them for my friends and then didn't buy one for myself because it was around Christmas. So this time I'm like, I'm buying the fucking Haikyuu shirts. Anyway, I wanted to point that out because today I am emulating Nekoma as we will be talking about the film, The Battle of the Garbage Dump. Now, my history with Haikyuu is a rocky one, with me stop starting the series due to Hinata being cringe, alongside the series cancellations and renewals. But ever since I have finished the series in 2022, I have been craving more content while being resigned to the fact that Haikyuu is one of those series that just may never be finished in anime and that I will have to read the manga. I've gone out of my way to buy later volumes of the manga so that I can collect it before I read it. Haikyuu is one of those series that I have been following since I was in high school myself, at least 2016-ish, and I have many times on this channel said that I vicariously live through Tsukiyama fanfiction. It is one of those series that with a very strong, dedicated fan base who just want to see this series ended in anime form, and it is a series that I enjoy absolutely immensely. So you know there's going to be a lot of bias here. To be honest, with the last season of the anime, I was under the impression that there would be no more content for this series point blank period. And to my knowledge, after this first film, we will be getting one more final film to cover the Kamomendai match and the epilogue to the series, which is hard because not only do you have the little giant finally involved in the series, but then you have everything with Hinata in Brazil and the adults versions of our characters and Gamer Boy Kenma. I will say this review does obviously have spoilers. Be cautious when watching the rest of this video. But that is future me's thing to worry about. As for all we know, the success of the film could drum up the appeal that we need to greenlight a final film, though that is incredibly unlikely. So this film, what was it about and what did I think? Well, this film was the long anticipated battle of the garbage dump between Nekoma and Karasuno, something that has been teased and mentioned since the very first season, about a decade ago, which is insane to say. So many series that I have watched started airing when I was in high school, like Attack on Titan, and are turning 10 and I fucking hate it. They pick up immediately after the Inazakari match, and we are going up against Nekoma, or should I say, we're going up against Karasuno. As this movie is very much from Kenma's perspective, and while it's not the first time we've had a temporary protagonist switch, most arcs do end up being dedicated to a new character in Karasuno overcoming something when it comes to a new team, such as Datatech, you got Asahi Noya in the third years, Aoba Josai, you've got Kageyama's king status that he has to deal with. The training arcs feature multiple characters, but specifically highlight Tsukushima, Yamaguchi, and Hinata, and the fight with Shiratorizawa highlights Tsukushima, Yamaguchi, and Tanaka, obviously, as well as Hinata. Hinata being the main protagonist, I feel like it's sort of a given past that each arc will involve him and involve some struggle with him. It's just that each arc usually has a different character be the center focus other than Hinata. But at the end of the day, Hinata is the main character of the film and we mostly see things his way. He's involved somehow and the main bulk of the arc involves him or Kageyama. This film was the first time where the speaking protagonist is fully from another team, this being Kenma. It's purely from his perspective, with butt-ins from Hinata, which in a regular season we would see the inverse, where it would solely be from either Hinata, Kageyama, Karasuno's perspective, and we'd see butt-ins from Shiratorizawa, from Nekoma, Fukurodani, that sort of stuff. I mean, one of the most like famous clips is Tendo doing the little dance thing. That is essentially what Hinata and the rest of Karasuno do in this film. And that, of course, this whole reason why Kenma is pretty much the protagonist of this film is because outside of Karasuno, Nekoma is the most developed team story-wise. Sure, there are more developed characters from other teams, but it will usually be 1 to 4 characters per team. This being the likes of Iwazumi and Oikawa from Aoba Josai. You've got, I can't remember his name, and Tendo from Shiratorizawa. You've got Bokuto and Akashi from Fukurodani, but Nekoma has just as many well-developed characters as Karasuno. There is even that really infamous shot of them lining up together, and you have a direct parallel between Nekoma and Karasuno. You've got Kenma, Kuro, Lev, Yaku, Inoka, Yamamoto. Even other side characters are pretty well known by the fandom, such as Fukunaga, Kai, and Shibiyama. So to see this film from the main rival's perspective was really fun and interesting. This is Kenma's movie, and as a Kenma fan, I was so thrilled. Now, story-wise, it really is just a volleyball game and some story and comedy thrown in, really hitting home and recapping the series, or rather, recapping the rivalry between Nekoma and Karasuno. And this is done in a really nice, easy 1 hour 30 runtime, and in the end I was actually just craving more, and I will say I was nearly duped by the credits. I fucking despise after credit scene, and I hate that Marvel started that fucking trend. I get technically that's been an anime for a long time with the ending and then you have a little extra thing at the end, but I hate the fact that this was done in an anime film. So angry. And it shows Karasuno coming into contact with that seagull looking motherfucker from the next arc. Now, I don't know why, but I, for some reason, remember when the manga had finished publishing this arc. It was around 2019, and I was very prone to intaking spoilers. Once again, same with Attack on Titan. A lot of series that I really like, I'm very willing to take in spoilers just to know what is happening with my favorite characters. And the same with the very end of Haikyuu. I know a lot about the end of Haikyuu, but don't know how we've gone from A to B. Well, vaguely I know, because for some reason I recalled Nekoma winning this game and Karasuno not progressing into the next level of the national tournament. And the fandom being in complete pure shock that Karasuno lost. Now that I think about it, with it being so close to the next arc in the next game, it was probably a lot of people being shocked that Nekoma lost, and then Karasuno going on to lose the next game. I just remember there being a lot of shock around this arc, this whole like national tournament in general, as it is one of, if not the most popular arc from the manga. So that all sort of being said, I went in thinking that Nekoma was going to win and was actually genuinely shocked when Nekoma lost. I was really confused and thought that the points on the like tally board was Nekoma's points and not Karasuno's. So I don't know why that popped into my head. I think it's the close proximity of the 2 chapters and how hyped everyone fucking got for all of these chapters. But that being said, what did I think about like the movie itself? It was awesome. I really loved it. It's Haikyuu. It's awesome. Not necessarily because of the plot, it literally is just a continuation of the series, of course, but I love the series getting new anime content. It's always So amazing, so awesome. And some of my favorite scenes include Yamaguchi coming out in the first half, being Suki's secret weapon. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell how much I love Haikyuu and how much I love Kenma, Kuro, and Yamaguchi and Tsukishima. But I loved it. I loved it, honestly. Also, the Suki Kuro versus Kuro thing. You can't tell me that whole little scene where they're just staring each other through the net didn't look like they were exes. Call me a fucking Fujo, I don't care. That looked so much like they were exes. I get that they're rivals. I get it. But it looked like they were exes. Which, honestly, iconic. Kenma being so cold and analytical was also just awesome. We saw a slightly different side to Kenma, and Kenma fucking passing out was hilarious. Fucking mood, but so fucking funny. As well as the part where Inoka comes in, and it just cuts to Kenma bringing up 2 shields. That was really fucking hilarious. I love that visual imagery. Also, everyone trying to make Kuro cry at the end of the game was so fucking funny, even if they didn't intend it. So fucking funny. I love Kuro and Kenma so much. I love Nekoma. They are my favorite team outside of Karasuno. So to see when they didn't get animated in the actual series itself, I was fucking devastated. And then I heard these movies were coming out, and I'm like, yes. Ooh, I get to see my boys play. Yes. So I was really happy throughout the entire film. I got to see Yamaguchi, I got to see Tsukishima, I got to see Kenma, Kuro, I got to see Tanaka, I got to see Hinata, I got to see all these bitches. Now, technically, I do love a good part of the actual cinematography of the film. The final point being shot from Kenma's literal perspective was absolutely amazing, and I loved it so much. It added so much desperation to the film itself. It is the thing that I love the most about the film, and it is definitely the point of view shot at the end of the game. Now, that scene, Kenma turning around and seeing the training arc was so fucking goofy. It didn't need to be in the film itself. Personally, it was so corny. So many anime films do it when they're continuing on a series and it is the final, like, arc of the series. They do it and I hate it. It's so unnecessary. But seeing the world from Kenma's perspective was amazing. First of all, as someone who has accidentally been fucking body slammed by a giant running into them at full force, I really felt Kenma being slammed into the floor by Lev by accident. And I actually have to applaud the filmmakers for that, because that was so genuinely spot on that I cannot get over that, like, shot. I love the desperation in Kenma's voice. For a second I was like, Eren? If you don't know, Kenma and Eren have the exact same voice actor. Also, the fact that we couldn't see anyone else but we could hear them, absolutely obsessed, because we really couldn't tell what was fully happening, much like when you are actually playing a volleyball game. It's something that you don't expect in anime, and it's something that the movie did really, really well. I just hope that it doesn't become a trend in sports anime, because then it will just lose its magic. Also, story-wise, the parallels between Hinata being downed by Sweat on the court at his lowest point, but being able to get up again, versus Nekoma losing the game because Kenma lost his grip on the ball due to Sweat, was honestly wonderful. Was it a little bit underwhelming for how that game ended compared to other games that we've seen? Yes, but with the actual dynamic between Karasuno and Nekoma, I thought it was good for the series, that it was just like such an underwhelming way for Nekoma to lose the game. I thought it was weirdly like a good way to wrap it up, because otherwise I think people would have been really, really angry at how either Karasuno won or Nekoma won. Also because it is a good reflection of what actually happens during the sport. And I think not only was it a great parallel, but a great end to the game. We're also confused at what's happening. Hinata expects another set, Kenma is overwhelmed by the fact that it slid out of his hands, no one is cheering, and everyone is tired. It's disappointing but also amazingly done. I'm also not mad at the ending either. I would have liked a season-long game like with Shiro Torizawa, but in all honesty, I can really never have enough of Nekoma, but I liked what we got, and I cannot wait for this final film. I am a little worried about this final film over the fact that it's going to be one last film instead of an entire season, as there's so much of the manga to still cover. We're in roughly volumes 37 or 38 within this film, and we have 45 volumes of the manga. At minimum, we have about 7 volumes to cover in one film, and this film alone covered 4, maybe 5 volumes. So unless some OVAs are made in the future, I don't know how they'll condense that much information into one movie unless it has a longer runtime than this one, which honestly I do hope it does. My final rating for this film is an 8. It's a solid anime continuation. It's one of my favorite series. My only critique is that it is too short, and the after credit scene, I just don't like after credit scenes. Also, Kenma, Kuro, Yams, and Suki are all in it! It's my favorite gays in one space. Now, if you're offended by the fact that I said they're my favorite gays, it's Pride Month. I get to gay the characters if I fucking want to. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like my review of this. I have like lots of things floating around in my head over this film, and because it is a continuation of a series and not its own separate entity, it is a bit harder to review as to the likes of Suzume or Belle, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What did you think of the Haikyuu movie? I honestly loved it. I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!